up? It's your girl Tonya
and Ilana,
and we are DemBrownGirls. So this time you were on the note, came off the note, which is good, and then came back. She was like, "I like to stay here.
Yeah.
I like to
land at home. I like to go back home."
It was like an airplane that went from Long Beach to Carson.
Yeah.
Up and down.
That was good.
Anyway, it's good to see you guys. It's so good to see you guys again. Thank you for all those who have been subscribing and hanging out with us for the last few weeks.
Yes, remember, tell your aunties, tell your mamas, tell your friends, tell your nieces, tell your girls that we have a platform and we are spreading love and light over here.
Yes, we are. So don't forget to do what? Click like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you'll always know when we upload a new video. We upload a new video, every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, so just be looking out for that. You know, this is kind of a more serious conversation today.
Yeah, I would say more serious, more informed. You know, we want to be in this voting season. We want to be as informed as possible. We want you guys to be as informed as possible because we've heard it all over the news, all over CNN, all over Fox, all over every news media outlet that this is the most important election in American history, right? And we know what we've been dealing with so much racial injustice and just so many things have been going on. We've all seen the debates. We all know about the fly, right? We all know about that. But we really want to go into these polls informed. We really want to go in there with a plan, and we really want to make sure that our voice is heard, not only ours, but yours as well. And so today we want to talk about the importance of voting and what that means and what that looks like, and the importance of voting even at the local level, because whether we know it or not, that's what really affects our lives more so than anything. And so we just want to be informed. There's a lot of propositions in California. You know, for those of you in the other states, I'm sorry, we don't know about your propositions. But in California, we really want to keep you guys and get you informed so that you can go into the polls knowing what you're going to do and not just sitting there, because sometimes you just look at a name and say, oh, okay, that name sounds right, so I'll just go. But we want to go ahead and vote with knowledge.
And to speak to that, what's interesting is that we've always heard that it's very important to vote, right?
Absolutely.
I feel like if I could even go back maybe the last 2 years or last 2 terms, when it was time to put Obama in office, you know, to be able to have something that's history to be made for a black man to be in office, that was important, right? And then for us to go again to let him stay for another set of years,
term,
you know, that was important. And so then it became important when we saw 45 trying to come in, and we were thinking, oh my God, this is important. We don't really know if he can really do it. Some people said he could. So now that we see 45 in office, I'm sorry, I gotta put my own opinion on this one.
Yeah.
I just feel like we've seen what he has done.
Enough.
We've seen enough, exactly. We've seen enough. So now this has got to be the most, this is almost more important than putting a black man in.
It is. This is the trajectory in the history of this country. And we want to keep on the right path, and we want to help our country to get back on the right path. And we want to make sure that the right people are in office, the right people are representing us.
So we're getting ready to introduce you to somebody, but just give us a second before we do that. Today, at the end of this video, we are actually going to be pulling the name who actually won the Amazon gift card.
$25.
So thank you to all those who thank you to all those who entered. We have your names, we have it all in a little basket. We'll be pulling that at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. But we are going to introduce you to someone who we've known for some years now.
Yes.
And a little bit fun fact, she can sing.
She can.
She can sing. She can
sing.
She's like,
okay. She can sing.
I am telling you.
But yes, she can sing. She can sing like that, and she can sing for Jesus too, all right? But she is a powerhouse, an amazing brown girl, and we cannot wait to share her with you. Some of you might know her, and some of you may not.
And we are going to introduce to you. And for those who already know her, you'll love her even more.
Absolutely.
Letitia Clark.
That was magic.
That was amazing how that worked out. We just was like blink and she was like
Magic.
right there, yeah. And she looking good too.
Brown girl.
Am I honorary brown girl?
Yes,
Yes,
you are.
yes,
Yes, you are.
Very
Yes, you
good,
are.
thank you.
Absolutely.
It is so good to have you on.
It's
here.
good to be here.
Thank
Good to
you
see
so
you
much
all.
for taking out your time. You are busy
Yeah.
campaigning. We'll talk a little bit about that in a few
Okay.
minutes. But we're just happy to have you. We're thankful that you're here to give us some knowledge on some things that
It's
we
important.
may or may not know. You know?
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
appreciate that.
Good.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, your story.
Because when we first met,
Yeah.
I had just moved back to California,
Yes.
and y'all didn't necessarily know I was into politics.
No.
and all
I
that,
had no
right?
idea.
Right.
I just thought you were a mama. I did.
Right.
Super mama. Yes.
So, grew up here in OC, and then I attended Xavier University of Louisiana, HBCU, in New Orleans.
Good.
And I thought I wanted to be a lawyer because I thought it was because I was a talker when I was younger. My mom corrected me the other day and said, "You wanted to be a lawyer because you saw Claire Huxtable on the Cosby Show. You said whatever she does, that's what I want to do." So I grew up. My parents were like, "Yeah, you're going to be a lawyer. You're going to be a lawyer." So I went to college thinking I wanted to be an attorney, but then I got a part-time job working on campaigns and just passing out flyers and got a little extra money. But it was the first time I saw in my life Black women on these campaign flyers, running
that's
for
good.
mayor and senate and judge. And so I said, wait a minute, you can do this? Black women can do this and run for office? And the one woman I was interning for or working for, she said, yeah, I want to make the laws. I don't want to defend the laws.
I love
and I was
that.
like, oh, I love that. So I changed my major to political science. And then I got an internship with the City of New Orleans and then got a job with a council member, a Black woman.
Awesome.
I was a gopher. I got donuts and coffee. That was about all I was in charge of. And then Hurricane Katrina was approaching. And she told me, you are essential personnel. You have to stay. And I found myself on the front lines of responding to that disaster. And it changed my thought process about local government.
That's
because
awesome.
at the end of the day, it was the council and the mayor and the police chief and the fire chief that were there responding, not our governor, not our president. They didn't come until weeks later. And so it made me realize when we talk about higher office, it really is at the local level. Because if something goes down in your city or your town,
The president ain't thinking about you.
no, he or she may not come in until much later. It is the people that are expected to serve you that have to respond immediately. And so I always felt like if I ever had an opportunity to run, I wanted to do it at the local level. And then when I moved back to my hometown, I wanted to do it right here. So I was successful in 2016 in running for the first time, and so now I'm up for re-election. And it's a calling because you don't usually get paid very well. In Tustin, we get paid $0. But I believe it's that important. And my motto is, if we're not at the table, we're on the menu. And I refuse to be the main course. So we got to be there making decisions.
I love that.
And so what do you do now, Tustin?
So right now I'm the mayor pro tem.
Yes. I mean, the whole story, I never heard this whole story. It's very encouraging. You start from one level, which you might feel is low, but it was so important to your steps and your journey and your walk to where you are now.
Absolutely.
And it's still not over. You know what I mean? I mean, not even this year is not over. You still have more to go. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Wow, that makes me have a little goosebumps.
Humble beginnings, I love that. The Bible talks about that. Don't despise humble beginnings. And that's exactly
just get started. If you're interested in something, if you're passionate about something, just get started. It doesn't have to be at a high level.
$2, so I'm gonna start something with
to be a millionaire, right? $2.
Then we will keep on to 201,
That's right.
202,
That's right. That's
by
right.
2025, I have 305.
Oh, that's good. That's
$3.05. Okay, anyways, but that was good. I appreciate that. That really made me feel good. So how important do you think this term and this election is?
So given what I just kind of told you all, I've always believed in local government. However, this time period, it's more crucial than ever. I mean, we're seeing people take to the streets because they are tired of seeing systems not work for them. And when we're talking specifically about justice reform or police brutality, I remind folks, do you know that you vote for your mayor and your council that hire the police chief?
Yeah.
Do you know that you vote for the sheriff for Orange County? He's an elected leader. So this is not someone that is appointed.
Yeah.
Most of the judges are elected. And if they're appointed by people who are elected.
Wow.
So we, as a people, have a hand in choosing these folks. And if we don't feel like we have good options to choose from, we can hold them accountable. They are public servants. They are supposed to take our calls. They are supposed to respond to our letters. They are supposed to hear from us in public comment. So sometimes we feel like, oh, what can I do? There's nothing I can do. No one's going to listen to me. I have to, do these outlandish things to get the attention. But really, they're there to serve us.
That's awesome.
And we can vote them out if we don't like the culture, if we don't like what they're doing. So I say that because we sometimes forget how much power we have.
Or we just don't know.
Yeah, right. Or we just don't know how these people are selected.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, and I know we're going to talk about the ballot today, voting down ballot. And the judges, the most important role in our criminal justice system, they're all the way at the bottom. And most people don't take the time to go all the way through their ballot. Especially a year like this year, we have 25 propositions. Judges, I don't think there are a lot of judges on the ballot this year. I don't have any on my ballot. But just to go all the way down, that takes some time.
By the time you're done with the first 17, you like, just whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as it makes sense.
Okay, she's the party I like, okay.
Yeah.
Another thing about the local positions, they don't have party affiliations. In California, they're nonpartisan. So you will not know whether the person running for mayor is a Democrat or a Republican.
Wow.
You will not know whether your sheriff is a Democrat or Republican. They're all nonpartisan, so you have to do your homework.
Oh, yeah.
You have to do your research because you will not know.
So when they do go against each other, is there one that's a Democrat and one is a Republican, or they could be two Republicans?
Right, not at the local level. You will not know. And there's no primary to decide this is the Democratic candidate, this is the Republican candidate.
Wow.
Only once you get to the state level. So Assembly, Senate,
Got it.
then you'll have one Democrat to vote for, one Republican. But at the local level, for instance, in my race, there are 9 people running. 6 Republicans, 3 Democrats. You'll have no idea unless you do your research.
So how do people find out? How do they do their research to find that out?
So the easiest way, the lowest hanging fruit, is just to look at your voter guide.
Okay.
So in your voter guide, every candidate has an opportunity to submit a candidate statement.
Okay.
It costs money to do that as a candidate, but it's the best introduction to what that candidate has to say. It also tells you the seriousness of them if they do decide to submit a candidate statement. Because if they don't, that shows that they haven't raised money and they actually don't want to communicate with the voters. So that candidate statement is very important. However, websites, and just when you start to see these signs around town, which I'm sure you see, Google those names. See what comes up, and not just their website. Are there other articles on them?
That's good.
Is there some, demonstrable evidence that they've been active in the community? And so, see what comes up with their names. And a lot of times you will see that most of these folks have not been around, that they have not been involved, and all of a sudden they want to run for something. So take all that into account. But I think that shows that none of this can be really done last minute. You have to be constantly engaged. This is it's a job for the voter as well. This is something that is ongoing, and you have to be committed to just following what these folks are doing. And that's really the only way to hold them accountable.
Yes. So I love this because it's showing us that, even though we get out there and we vote, that we really can't be lazy about it. We really need to do our homework. We really need to do the research so that we can put the right people in place and stop saying after all the voting's done and things are happening
that you mad.
Why did someone do this and why did someone do that? When we have an opportunity to change the culture. I'm excited about that. We have an opportunity, and I hope that more of us than ever sees this opportunity.
I agree. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the propositions that are out there. But before that, tell us about some of your accomplishments.
So this has been the honor of my life to be able to serve in this position. And although I've been a minority on the council in terms of you know, things I want to move forward. I've found a way to build relationships so I can get some initiatives done. One thing I'm super proud of, we started the Girls in Government Summit last year. It's for students 8th grade through college, and we bring in women that work in city government. So that's good. City manager, public works director, parks and rec director. What I wanted to do, well, first of all, I didn't see enough women working in City Hall. A lot of men, a lot of young men starting as interns and then working their way up. And I'm kind of wondering, how did this kid get this great job? Well, he just was in the right place at the right time. And so I thought, we need to show more of our girls. There are these great jobs. A city manager on average in California makes about $500,000.
Really?
Wow.
Yes. They're basically the CEO of a city. Not a lot of people know that, and it's predominantly men in these positions. So I wanted to show you can make a great salary serving your community. You just need to know these positions are available. So we do a whole summit about all the careers available in government. And then also, I think people look at me like, oh, you're an elected official. I want to do that, but I don't get paid to do this. I still have to have a full-time job. So I don't want to make it seem like this can be a career route in terms of paying your bills, because it usually won't. So that was my goal in doing that, and it's been successful. That's something I'm really proud of. And then kind of more on a policy level, I've really been pushing more affordable housing. We're seeing that in California. Housing is increasing. The homelessness crisis is...
People are moving out in droves.
They're moving out because they can't afford it. You need to make, a household of 4 needs to make about $110,000 to be considered low income in Orange County. We know many families that are making much less than that. So I have pushed to require developers to include affordable housing when they build anything new in Tustin. We helped erect a new emergency shelter, so for those homeless on the street, they have a bed so that they won't be on the street. My goal is to have the most diverse housing portfolio in Orange County. And so I'm moving forward with some of those things.
We're so proud.
Thank you.
So awesome.
We're going to go into...
We're going to go into the propositions. So we know that there are a lot of propositions on the ballot, right? And so we can't highlight them all, but we do want to just highlight about 5 of them. So we're just going to hit them in order, 16 to 23, and just get a little bit of insight. We're not telling you which way to vote, how to do it, just getting some insight. What a yes vote may mean and what a no vote may mean. Right, so we'll start with 16.
Okay, I wanted to highlight 16 because it has been in the news a little bit. It's been a little controversial.
Okay.
So 16 is the opportunity for all proposition. Basically, you might hear in the news, for those opposing it, they're saying that this allows the state of California to discriminate on the count of race, sex.
Oh, wow.
However, what it's doing is it's actually dealing with addressing diversity with some intentionality. So it's allowing businesses and organizations to basically say, okay, if I have a white person and a black person, they have the same qualifications, and we don't have any black people working at this company, I'm going to choose a black person because we need more diversity. It's going to allow them to do that.
Okay, I like that.
So it's kind of like affirmative action, but it's basically forcing organizations and companies to look at the makeup of their teams and their employees, and if they want to create some more diversity, this bill will allow them to do that.
Oh, I love that.
But what you will hear in the news possibly is that, oh, this is going to, cause companies to discriminate against you, and won't allow you to have those rights to be. So it's kind of tricky.
It's the way they work.
So just pay attention and always be mindful when you see a lot of opposition or support of either side. That means some organizations, some people have invested heavily into supporting or opposing those bills. So always pay attention to the ones that make the news, because that means that someone is invested in a yes or no vote. And so it just warrants your attention.
So a yes vote essentially is more diverse.
A yes vote is more diverse.
Okay.
Right. That is a good one for me.
Let's go to
20. Okay, so 20 is basically a rollback on criminal justice reforms. California has taken a lot of strides in ensuring that especially people of color are not charged with crimes, especially petty crimes, and have to go to state jail, or are considered if there are crimes committed, that they're felonies right away. So this would basically undo a lot of that work. So you might want to think about, you know, voting yes on that, because that is going to make it more restrictive. If there are any crimes that are considered misdemeanors, could now be considered felonies or harder crimes. So when we want to think about our people somehow getting into the criminal justice system, sometimes
for something small,
for something very small, we don't want, you know, very hard crimes to be on the record.
Yeah.
So, but again, California has made a lot of strides. This is kind of wanting to roll it back. So all we have to say is just keep things in place. So a no vote would keep things in place.
Okay.
A yes vote will roll those things back.
Oh, okay. All right.
21.
Yes, 21.
So 21 is about rent control, but basically it is allowing governments, I mean, we just talked about housing, so rent control in some areas may be very necessary. However, this is allowing local governments to decide. So again, when we're talking about accountability, and then let's say you want the city of Anaheim to implement rent control, if this bill passes, it gives them a lot of leverage to do that. So if you want to really
at the local
level, it will not be a statewide initiative, but it gives every city council and every local municipality the power to implement rent control if they want to do that for the community.
That's really good. That's really good.
I think so too.
And then 22.
22. So 22. Oh yeah. Okay. This is another controversial one. You're going to see a lot of funding being poured into the campaign about 22.
This is the one with Uber.
It's about the apps for DoorDash, Uber, Lyfts, you know, Postmates.
Yeah. Oh, it's
so
too. I didn't know that.
Any app-based driver delivery service. This has to do with Prop 22 deals with them. So basically, a yes vote is going to allow them to continue to be independent contractors. It gives them that flexibility to not have to be an employee. However, with that, as an independent contractor, you don't necessarily get access to health insurance. If you get hurt while on the job, you may not have the coverage to claim unemployment. So that really is something you need to think about. If you are someone that participates as an independent contractor with these businesses, think about how you would like to be treated. Do you like being an independent contractor, or would you like to be an employee with some of those benefits? So a yes vote will keep you as an independent contractor. A no vote will allow you to possibly become an employee to get some of those benefits. And then 23 deals with kidney dialysis clinics. So we know in our community there's a lot of diabetes. Those dialysis clinics are very necessary. So I believe a yes vote requires that there's a doctor on site at all times.
Yes, I did
so
read that, yes.
On one end, that sounds pretty good. However, if you can think about a doctor's pay, and if they're required to be there on site at the entire time of operating hours, it might be quite expensive for that dialysis clinic to maintain itself. So what's currently in the law is that a doctor has to be there when there's certain treatment being administered.
Versus all day.
Versus all day. I'm sure there are nuances where a doctor was needed and maybe wasn't there. But this law would make it very restrictive, and you could see some dialysis clinics shut down possibly. If they're not able to afford having a doctor.
And that's
there.
Not good. I mean, we know someone personally that needs it.
Absolutely. And you never know, you know, when people's situations change. You know, health could go down for a season and you need dialysis, and so I would hate for people to not be able to get the care that they need.
So those personal experiences really help inform your decision. You know, if you have some personal reference that helps you make more informed decisions, that's always helpful. And again, that's why you have to read a lot of these propositions. But you know, there's one like about consumer privacy, and it's a 53-page bill. So it's hard to really comb through all of that. So a lot of these are going to be neutral votes for many, but if you want to have that declarative yes or no vote, you really do have to do your research.
Do your homework. You gotta do your homework. Letitia, we are so excited that you came.
Thank you.
And grateful that you took out the time. You could have did this from your house. You did it with us, and we're so thankful. So thankful, and we're so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
We do something every week called a Wow of the Week, which is a Woman of the Week.
Nice.
And so our Woman of the Week is none other than myself.
Yes.
Because
that is so.
I'm gonna take my $2 that we talked about earlier, and I'm gonna make those $2 to $3. I'm just kidding. Our Wow of the Week is you.
Thank you.
We are so, again, so proud. She's a mommy. She is about to get married.
Yeah.
She's like 2 more days. Really not really, but she's on the other side. Just one sandwich away from being married. We love her fiance. But we're so proud of her. She's a great mom. Just
and a great public servant.
She really, honestly,
taking out the time to do this again.
Yeah.
Just being a public servant, informing us of what we can do and how we can be informed. And so I am so grateful.
Well, thank you for choosing this topic. It's so timely, and I know your viewers will appreciate it.
Yes.
They got a few laughs in there still. But I'm proud of y'all for creating a forum for brown girls to spread some love and light and laughter. You guys are doing it.
You trying.
We doing it.
We are.
Stay tuned. We're actually getting ready to do our contest in just a second, but we just wanted again to say thank you.
Yes. And if you live in the Tustin area, go vote.
Go vote.
Letitia Clark.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, guys.
We have
$25 gift card. Our next one, we should do lunch for somebody. We should
good with that.
Cash App or a bit. I really don't know if I
or
want
a
to
DoorDash coupon.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
Or a gift card.
Yeah, we'll do that. Just listen up for our next video.
Something. We'll come up with something really good that everybody wants to do.
This is $25. You know, you think about. I buy stuff from Amazon all the time.
You can get it. I just discovered today that I can get a ring light on Amazon for $19.99. So hey, if you want to, get you a ring light, there you go.
I'm always hiding boxes. Anyway. All right, so you ready?
I'm gonna shake it and you're gonna pull it. All right.
Thank you to all of those who entered.
All right, honey.
Say a little prayer. You do it. Say a little prayer for me. Amber Clue. Wow. You got a $25 gift card by Miss Ann.
Oh, buy you something, Amber. Yeah, congratulations. And thank you for watching and tuning in, Amber.
Yes. So look for more videos every Wednesday. Don't forget to subscribe and to like and just comment. Let us know how you felt about today's video.
And don't forget to vote.
Don't forget
to vote. Your voice matters. Your voice matters.
It does. Bye.